You know my next guest tonight is the lovely Starfleet Captain Kathryn Janeway on Star Trek Voyager. Please welcome Kate Mulgrew.
To see you.
Oh, thank you for being here.
It's the highlight of my trip every time.
Oh, really? Well, that's very nice of you.
You're not only Irish Catholic and charming, but I know that you're fascinated by all things having to do with outer space.
Yes, I'm an...
It's true. Don't you want to discuss spatial anomalies tonight?
Yes, we are. We're going to get into all the minutiae.
Yes, last time it was tricorders and phasers.
That's right. I'm a real Trekkie nerd, as they say. Oh, is that offensive? That's going to get a lot of people angry, right?
It's going to get, yes. How many of you are angry already?
Well, if they're here...
no trekkers in the audience.
It's pretty late in the show, so these people are furious. Now, congratulations, first of all, your 100th episode.
100th episode.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's nice. Are you happy about that?
I'm very happy.
You're happy about it?
It's an enormous sense of accomplishment, which I'm sure you understand very well. You've done 1,000+ of these, have you not?
We've done over 1,000 of these. It's just that you start to feel like you're getting into bulk, like quantity. You know.
Well, I'm not there. And after doing 100, it does beg a very interesting question. How many people have done 100 of anything in their lifetime? I mean, aside from the daily or occasionally nocturnal obligations, how many times have you done 100 of anything?
I have had sex at least 110 times in my life.
We're going to talk about mortification of the flesh. Have you done...
Wait a minute. No, I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
What have you done 100 of?
Boy, nothing outstanding. Been on this show 1,000 times.
I mean, Andy, in your private life.
In my private life, 100 times.
This is all we do. We don't have a private life. When the show is over, Andy and I just sit here and they put like sheets over us and turn out the light.
I've probably bought 100 books I haven't read.
Well, this is fascinating, gentlemen. So you can understand my sense of accomplishment.
We're pathetic.
You're not pathetic.
You know what? Speaking of pathetic, I got to bring something up that has been bothering me.
Don't humiliate me. What is this?
Sorry, but here it comes. You're the first female captain of the starship.
Allegedly.
Okay?
Yes.
Allegedly, the first female captain, and the whole premise of your show is that you're lost. And that's the whole premise of the show.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you thought about this? No. Wait a minute. No, I'm not. I am pointing out because, believe me, I'm on your side.
This is spoken like a true Irishman.
No,
right?
but I'm just saying that...
The broad got them all lost.
Yeah, when I'm starting to, like, aren't there other people on the ship starting to snicker at you? You come onto the bridge and I've got a map here somewhere.
I don't allow them to snicker. And it's a good thing I did get them lost.
But hasn't the ship
we wouldn't be sitting here tonight,
But hasn't the ship been lost for a couple of years?
Been lost for 5 long years.
That's pathetic. You're the Gilligan of deep space.
Thank God.
It's not a good thing.
I think it's very appropriate. It's appropriate, disarming, feminine, and charming.
Okay.
I got us lost, right?
Right.
Rather than some male saying, we're stopping at the... We're taking the I-95. Have you ever noticed that men will not stop at a gas station and ask for directions?
Kirk...
They will not stop. True, ladies?
You know, it's true.
We'll get there, by God. You can just and they're driving endlessly.
Well, Kirk and Picard never ask for directions. They never admit that they're lost.
Well, they were otherwise engaged most of the time, weren't they, Conan?
What was that all about?
I run a strict ship.
What do you mean those two were otherwise engaged?
They had a lot to do.
You know stuff.
They had a lot of time on their hands.
You talked about being Catholic. Now, we
have to talk about it because it is our...
Well, I guess, yeah. I find that there's a repression, that comes with being Catholic.
Are you still a practicing Roman Catholic?
I don't get into that stuff. I don't talk about it on the air.
You never talk about it?
Let's just say this bird knows how to fly, and he wants to. That's what I'll say right now.
You're giving yourself away.
But basically, there's not a lot going on in my life.
And do you think repression is a big part
I think repression's part of a couple of, a couple of, cultures and religions. But yeah, I think Catholics definitely have problem talking about sex. I think they have trouble dealing with those issues? This is not new ground. Of course they do.
Nobody in my family had that problem.
They talked about sex in your house?
They did a lot more than talk about sex in my house. Yes. Yes, I think it was pretty liberal.
You've got a lot of innuendo going tonight. Have you noticed that? Oh, my, I did a lot more than talk about it. And by the way, Picard and Kirk are off. I think Picard and Kirk.
Great. You talk about it, too, if you've been lost for 5 years.
But really, there was no repression, really? You don't...
There was repression, but mostly there was mortification of the flesh, I'd say.
Back up. There was mortification of the flesh.
You know what mortification of the flesh is.
Well, you deny...
You live in a constant state, yes.
What do you mean? You
deny. You deny. You deny.
You deny yourself the pleasures of life.
Well, you deny that you're a human being like other human beings.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the most serious theological discussion we've ever had on Late Night with Conan O'Brien. I think it's time for a puppet to come out.
But I'll tell you
I'm getting uncomfortable. People are starting to learn stuff watching this show.
Do you know what it has given you?
What's that?
Your completely irreverent and wonderful sense of humor.
Wow. What a great segue. You're better than Segway Sam. Wonderful. Oh, gee. I got to mention this, Star Trek Voyager, Wednesdays at 9 o'clock on UPN. When are you going to stop being lost? Is there a point where you get...
We're getting home, Tony. I will stop at the gas station. I will.
I just love you've been telling the crew for 5 years, we're getting home!
And louder and louder.
Well, thank you very much for being here.
It's a pleasure, always.
Yeah, please come back soon. Kate Mulgrew, everybody. We'll be right back with Gomez.